But Johnny, we don't want Pulsechain to be a ghost chain. Pulsechain
Pulsechain will not be a ghost chain.
Pulsechain needs these projects in order to develop. What is your response? In order to be successful?
What Ethereum start with? Exactly. No, you don't need all these other shiny objects to get people's interest. And more things that suck do not create a better experience. You know, Binance chain had all kinds of rug pulls. It was Rug City over there, man. You could
Yeah.
buy anything over there. Guess what? I never used Binance. Never. Not even once. You know why? Because it was Rug City over there. It had a bad reputation to be in Rug City, so there was really no need to utilize it. You know what else? They didn't have Hex over there, so there was no reason to use that either.
Yeah.
So what I have to say is, look, when in history has the people that welcomed the newcomers into their community worked out? When in history has been the kumbaya, everybody come here and shit on us, ever worked out in history?
Okay, so Ethereum this past cycle did let I mean there were projects that built on it that benefited, but this is why this leads me to my point, what I wanted to say. So I agree with that, though. I do agree with that. Like it doesn't help. But with regard to blockchain, let me say this is the Furu take a little bit that I haven't heard said. It's like people are like, but we don't want Pulsechain to be a ghost chain. We don't want we need development. We need building. We need building on the Pulsechain. So here's what I say. It's like, first, maybe for continuity, maybe to last 10, 15, 20 years. Yeah, you do. But first cycle for Cardano, first 2 cycles, 0. First 2 cycles for Ethereum, 0, right? Avalanche, this bull market, 0. And Pulsechain is not the exception. And what I'm thinking is like, if you really want a project, you have an idea, something new, something that you don't have to piggyback on the Pulsechain brand that Richard Hart created. You don't have to make your coin in a hexagon and make it pink, red and blue, you know, and add the Pulse prefix, you know, to your ticker. If you really have a novel idea that could in fact beat Pulsechain, why don't you make it in 2 cycles from now when the returns diminish, right? And you could tell all your audience, like, hey, get in on Pulse now. Don't buy all these scams. They'll trust you. And it's like, they'll all be rich. You'll be able to create a project that raises that much more money, right? Because everyone didn't buy the shiny objects. They got in on Hex, Pulsechain, PulseX. And now that Pulsechain, its returns diminished, so it became a safer but less volatile asset. You know, you have a chance of giving your community the best, at least an opportunity of beating the market, like Chainlink this past bull market. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think about that?
I think that we're not welcoming is an excuse for failure. That's what I think. I think coins that immediately start saying that we're not welcoming or we're trying to prevent them from creating is already setting up a narrative for the reason why they're going to fail in the future.
That's actually a very good point.
And
that's an amazing point. But
we
about what I said,
we cannot stop you from building, and you may never get our money. So what does it matter whether or not we buy if you have a good product?
Correct.
This is just a poor argument. So what it is it's an attempt to draw empathy from the experiences that we've had with the gatekeeping of Hex, and saying that we're treating others like we've been treated, to garner empathy again.
That's beautiful.
To create a narrative as an excuse for why they fail in the future.
Manipulative.
It's manipulative. Absolutely. So, and we're supposed to have sympathy, and we're all a group of people that do care about other people and their success, and therefore they're preying on that empathy in order to give them a chance. Well, guess what, guys? You put a Pulse logo on it, it does not give you a free pass. In fact, if you put a Pulse logo on it, you are subjected to a higher level of scrutiny from higher, people that are much better trained at spotting things than you would be somewhere else.
Very true.
So if you want to come along and you want to scam and you're afraid of resistance, then don't build. If you are afraid of resistance, then you got no business building in to begin with. If you're going to make excuses before your coin is even built, You got no business building to begin with. It shows that you don't even have confidence in yourself.
That's
You don't have
that's
confidence in your own product.
that's
If
a
I
beautiful
build
point.
something, I want to put it out there and I'd say, tell me, how does this fail? Because when we got into Hex, that's what we did. We gathered together and we said, hey, this thing looks really cool. How does it fail? Why am I not seeing failure here? Why can I not poke holes in this? Why can I not sink this boat? Because we all came in looking at it like that. We were not the moon boys. We had to resist the greatest FUD. We had to try to poke holes in our own ship to see if this thing was really battle tested, if it has the capabilities of doing what it's supposed to do. But here's the thing, guys. Look, we can't stop people from building on Pulse. We're not trying to stop people from building on Pulse. That's a big ass excuse. We can't. There's nothing we can do about it. All right. So opportunists are going to go where the opportunity is, regardless. Okay. If anything, our protectiveness of our own community should discourage more scammers and should encourage people that have good intent. If who's it going to stop, right? Is it going to stop the people that really have good intentions from building because they're afraid that they're going to get a little resistance on the way? I don't think so. Who might it stop? It might stop some of the scammers that are afraid to get called out before they even get their thing on the market. That might bother them a little bit, right? So, is less people that may not have good intent, are we really so tainted that people don't, we're the toxic ones, they don't want to deal with us? First of all, you also go where the money is. Obviously, there's money in Pulsechain. You think opportunists are not going to want to be where the money is? So this whole idea of it's going to be a ghost chain or people won't go here because Hexicans are mean is just ludicrous. This is a lot of excuses. It's a lot of excuses generated by people that don't have a plan. So their plan is to make drama and hopefully make sales off garnering that empathy. That's what that comes down to.
That
And it's
was
sad.
beautifully said. And let me just add a little bit to that, if I may. Is that like when these Bitcoiners in the beginning, in its inception, you have the people that were like really in it, like what's his name, Gavin Anderson and Chase Myers and Eric Voorhees. Uh, what's his name, Bitcoin Jesus, Roger Ver. These
Roger
people
Ver.
weren't ridiculed. They got probably they weren't even, they didn't even get the dignity to be ridiculed by TradFi. They were so fringe. And
Oh yeah.
they and look what happened. Like, they experienced success beyond anyone's wildest dreams. Look at Vitalik when he broke off from Bitcoin and made Ethereum. Look at Richard Hart when he broke away from Bitcoin and made Hex. Like, these people were really serious people about something. Which, by the way, the fact that they created something original and made their own brand and their own logo and things like that, that's already more indicative of originality and being serious about themselves and whatever. But in any case, you think they let it stop them? You think they cried and moaned? Like, no, they didn't do that. Like, they moved forward because they knew in their head that they were special and they had something special to bring to the table. And if you really believe that, if you really believe you have something that's revolutionary in the way that the automobile, the telephone, the Bitcoin, the Ethereum, the Hex, if you think you have that next big thing, then I don't want to hear you moan and cry about it. Yeah, I like exactly what you said. Yeah, that's beautiful.
No excuses.
No
No
excuses.
excuses. If you want to innovate, you want to be an innovator, you want to be successful, you have to go above and beyond all resistance. Even building a business, you're going to get resistance. Anytime you develop anything that is challenging to the market, you're going to get resistance. I mean, I know I'm a product developer. I've had people threaten me because I developed something that challenges their product. So uh, anytime you have innovation, you have to expect that. That's part of the gig. That is part of the gig. The most rewards are pushing beyond the most resistance you've ever experienced. if you are unwilling to push beyond that resistance, then you're going to fail.
Yeah.
Period. And you do not deserve the rewards that are beyond that resistance because you didn't have the ability to push beyond it. And nobody's handing you anything. There is no entitlement here. Just because you're part of the community, just because you put a hex badge on, does not give you a free pass. You don't get to put the hat on and go, I'm one of you guys. You got to listen to me and buy my stuff and watch all my shows and click on all my stuff and like it all and pay attention to every damn word I got to say. That's bullshit.
100%.
That's bullshit. And and I got into it the other day with somebody because it's like, I mean, it seems like entitlement or something, right? It's like, well, you don't watch my shows. I'm like, no, and I'm not watching them now either. It's like, look, I've got the right to agree or disagree with whoever. I've got the right to be on whatever shows I want. I've got the right to say whatever I damn well please. And if you don't like me, then piss off.
Yeah.
Not my problem. That's yours.
Yeah.
But
well
I'm not going to have people demanding shit of me.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't getting paid for this.
Yeah. Beautiful.
I ain't anybody's bitch. I ain't on anybody's payroll. I run my own company, make my own money. You know, I haven't worked for anybody for years and years and years. I ain't going to start now.
Yeah. Yeah, and hey, if it's good, maybe Johnny Chaos will wear the cap. If your idea is that good, or maybe I will. Who knows? But chances are it won't.